Hey, this is Anthony. I wanted to do a quick video on some things I wish I knew earlier. Some things I wish I knew when I first started in voiceover. I think the biggest thing that I wish I knew was it's okay to make mistakes. Really, like you're not going to ruin your voiceover business. If you don't book a job, it's okay. There's plenty more jobs out there. Early on, that was something I was scared. I mean, I was scared half to death about losing a job. So I probably did a lot more jobs that I really didn't want to, but that was something early on I was very scared of. So like I would, contact people immediately. There was always, I was obsessed and quite, just really freaked out if I couldn't get back to someone within just a couple of minutes or less. I would, early on I was very uh just, scared that I was going to ruin everything before it started. So I would definitely go back and tell myself it's okay, chill out. This is a long journey. You're going to be okay. It's okay if you don't get back to somebody in a couple minutes. That was the first thing. The second thing is that I definitely would tell myself that it's going to be more important that you stay consistent with everything that you're doing than worry about how absolutely incredible you are at the moment. Like it's more important to keep moving forward, keep taking a step, keep auditioning, keep trying, keep bettering yourself, but not to be afraid of the fact that you are where you are right now. My wife always says we make the best decisions we can make at this moment given what information we have at this moment, and that's the best we can do. And I think the same thing goes for our businesses. We do the best we can at this moment, no matter where we are, what we're doing, and that's what it is. We can't do any better, and that's okay. Do you know what I mean? That's okay. And I think the last thing I definitely would have done, and I wish I had done early on, and I didn't, and I would have changed that, is join a community, like a good community of other voice actors who were like-minded, like they wanted the same things I were. They were positive. Early on there was a lot of negative. I mean, there still is, sadly, out there's a lot of negativity, but I would have really focused my efforts on trying to find a place that was super positive and had a really supportive community. That's probably why I started VO Journey Academy. A big reason for that, was for that community, but definitely would have found that community. So I think those are things I would have probably told myself early on. Oh, and also the other applicable thing was more treatment, more acoustical treatment. I would have told myself, for God's sakes, put more acoustical treatment up. You sound like crap. that's what I that's what I would have done, because man, I for a while I thought one layer of blanket was enough for my hobo fort, and I just and it took me a long time to realize that it was more important to put up more acoustical treatment than it was to try to figure out what plugins to use, what way to edit and master my work, because I tried to do that instead of putting up more acoustical treatment, and I would have changed that. And I would have told myself, get better equipment, because that, again, so many of my headaches early on and the problems I had was because I had very cheap equipment and bad and bad acoustics, and my treatment was bad. So I would have definitely told myself that early on. However, I will admit it probably would have been hard, because I probably would have said, well, I don't have the money to do all that, so we all have a journey. I guess we all have a journey to go. But those are things I would have mentioned to myself early on. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great night. Bye, everybody.